This is episode 13, Life as We Know It podcast with myself, Jacob Ham, and
myself, Patrick Solomon. And we have a returning guest, Jerry. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks, man.
If nobody remembers Jerry, he was our worst guest so far.
Yeah.
the very worst.
There.
Dude, honestly, that was the first time we switched where I started it out the podcast. It kind of felt a little weird.
It did. Little adjustment.
Yeah, but we're okay. I'm actually excited about this because we haven't sat down and had a conversation where we've just talked to each other in about two weeks. 2 weeks. So it's going to be nice. Jerry, I'm happy to have you out here.
Yeah.
I'm always happy to see your face.
Shit. Yeah, you too, man.
See how this mic's turned a little bit?
Yeah, you want to turn it the other way?
Yeah, but I know we broke our mic stand.
It's kind of fucked, though.
See how it picks it up
It's all right.
differently?
I talk loud.
Well, you're going to have to talk louder.
Okay.
Because I can see it. But that's okay.
So I don't know if you guys, just shout out to the fans real quick while you're doing your thing.
Yep.
If you guys tuned in and saw our video of us eating donuts and throwing up, the aftermath of doing that challenge where we did 100 burpees and ate 10 donuts each and drank a gallon of milk between the both of us, it was bad. I think it ruined my appetite for a while. Definitely ruined donuts. But in a positive note, it definitely pushed me to different mental limits that I didn't think I was going to be able to approach.
You know what's funny about the whole thing? The last time I had milk flying through my nose, I feel like it was when I was with Jerry, multiple times with you, where you remember how we used to eat Fruity Pebbles?
Yeah. Yeah, we have breakfast for every meal.
Yeah, and we would eat 6 bowls, and we would race, and shit would be flying out of our nose.
We all over
Fruity
the fucking
Pebbles
table.
flying
Milk.
all over.
Dude, I can go in on some Fruity Pebbles.
Yeah, do you eat your cereal before it gets soggy with milk, or do you wait for it to get a little soggy with milk and then eat it?
I like to eat it when it's crunchy, man.
I don't know, man. It depends on what you're eating, right? Like Cocoa Pebbles, that shit's good soggy, but
What?
Yeah, I like it soggy.
yeah, because the milk
I don't
turns
like
into
it
chocolate
crunchy.
milk.
I like it soft.
I like the crunch.
I like the sog.
Yeah, I like the soggy.
There you go.
You guys are gross.
My dude right there.
You guys are gross. I felt like I had something I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, sorry, I just dropped the cereal question.
No, I brought it up. It's fine.
No, you did bring it up.
I did.
That's good. You're taking ownership of things.
Thank you.
How's everything been going in your life, Jerry?
It's good, man. Shit's lines up and then falls off. And
How's
then
the
gets
kid?
back online. He's good, dude.
Yeah.
He's good. Just
Still alive?
Yeah, I
Nice.
think so. I can make a call.
Hasn't died yet.
Yeah.
Is that fucked up to joke about? Yeah.
No, well, he's not. He's not laughing.
You have your hand on the wrong side of your face.
Oh. Well, I figured the mic wouldn't be able to hear me if that was the case.
Oh, okay.
All right, so what do you want to get into? You got any urgent
Yeah,
things
I
you'd
do.
like to?
Yeah, I
Go
have
ahead.
a question because I've
Cool.
thought about this and I felt like I always held a certain view on this. It's an oven over there. Okay. I always felt like I had a certain view on this, but do you think it's possible? And I know we always talk about relationships, but do you think it's possible to like 2 people at the same time?
Do I?
Yeah.
You mean 3?
It depends. Like to what degree? What degree you want to?
There we go.
What degree you like those people? Like, if you really want to like somebody and build a future with them, then I don't think you can like. I think you can be physically attracted.
All right, so here's something I know I believe people have disagreed with me is that I don't think that there's only one girl for you.
Okay.
You know, I think if there's 7 billion people on this fucking planet, there's obviously a high chance that there's more than one girl that you can spend the rest of your life with and have a happy time. It's not just I don't believe in soulmates, is what I'm saying. So for me to say that maybe I've met someone that could have been a soulmate in quotation marks and then I get along with really well, but then I see another girl that I could be soulmates on, I could see myself spending a lot of time with, could I like them both? Is that possible?
I think that if you met somebody, let's just say hypothetically speaking, you met somebody 2 weeks from now,
Yeah.
and she was the most perfect girl in the whole world,
Yeah.
you would be sitting here telling me you found your soulmate. So I think that maybe you feel like you don't believe in soulmates because it's something that you've never experienced before.
Yeah, but I'm not. I might say that, but I don't mean like Soulmate. I'm just saying like she might be the one that works, but I think there's more than one girl.
Well, why don't we go to the man with the answers?
I don't have the answers, man.
What do you think? What's your opinion?
Do you think
No,
we got soulmates or what?
I think Jacob has good. He's going somewhere with this. I
Uh-huh.
mean, yeah, that you can be attracted to multiple people, and I don't know. I feel like the human, like how we look at things, whether it's lust or love, or
Yeah.
during the times we need it and during the times we don't need it. Like, there's too many variables that go into it for us to.
Yeah,
Really
because there's
break
no
it down.
doubt. There's no doubt that you could definitely be attracted to more than one person.
Well, I don't even care if you're in love. It doesn't mean you stop being attracted
to other people. Yeah,
Like people,
Yeah.
it's just nature. You can now if you take it in action, you start touching somebody else.
Yeah.
That's completely different. But looking, it's natural to do that. What do we do when we watch TV? We watch fucking pretty ass people on television or in movies.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, but now, can you take it past just the lustful aspect and actually like more than one person? I think.
I think you have to something you have to accept on a moral level.
Yeah.
I lost it. I think I think a lot of it has to do, like I said, there's so many variables that play a part in it.
Yeah.
A lot of it is comfort, I think, because when you're trying to find someone and you finally meet someone, you're like, oh, I like this girl, and you start going out with her and meeting and getting to know her more. You get to a certain point where you start getting comfortable, and you don't want to jump back out of that uncomfort zone. And I think that a lot of that, I think there's something to that holds people down. Even if it's in a bad situation, it will still hold them because of the level of comfort that it offers. So like I said, there's more to it. Like, sure, you
Yeah.
can be in love with someone's body, but I mean that's just temporary.
Because
you know?
I saw an article the other day, and it was like a guy was married to two girls, like they were like three all married together. And like she liked
polygamous, man.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah, but
thing.
she
But-
loved her too. Like they were all bi.
Oh, okay.
So like she loved her. It was just like a trip, like a
Like a
trio,
triangle of love.
trio love.
Okay.
That's really what it was like. And I'm like sitting there, I'm like, how, like
be-
how, because love,
Yeah.
I definitely think a branch of love is jealousy.
Sure.
So
I think you can get jealous with anything. I can get jealous with my friends hanging out with other friends. Doesn't mean I love them. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that love?
that's love.
That's fucking love?
I think that's love.
I don't know, man.
Where's that conviction
I think
stem
jealousy
from?
comes from
Anyway,
everything.
you think jealousy comes from love? You said.
Yeah.
Portion.
I never really thought about that.
No.
When you love
I
something,
don't agree.
I mean,
No, I think that's envy. I think maybe it's more envy. than
envy
to-
is like you want what someone else doesn't have.
Right. So I think if, so what's the difference between envy and jealousy?
Jealousy is like, well, like they're similar, right?
But envy is like you put it on the pedestal, kind of in a way, like as a better one. Like, oh, I'm envying this.
I think it has
So-
to
No,
do with
envious can be like I envy this person for things that like, oh, oof.
That I can't accomplish, or I haven't accomplished, or I'm jealous of this person because
Yeah.
I haven't accomplished what they've accomplished.
It can be
Or-
goal
yeah,
based.
I want to.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think jealousy is more emotional. Envy is
Do you
probably
get
more.
jealous?
huh?
Do you get jealous?
Yeah, dude. If I'm in love with someone, which I don't think I've ever have been.
Well, yeah, we don't have to ask.
You've-
I didn't
you've been
a- I-
jealous.
I didn't ask you that question.
You've been jealous though, huh?
I know, but I've been jealous, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, even when I've my girlfriend, I'm still very jealous. I'm a jealous
He
person.
doesn't have a girlfriend.
That's right. That's right. Ham doesn't do ships. That was a Batman Lego quote. A Lego Batman quote. When he goes, Batman, he's like, Batman doesn't do ships. Sorry. I don't know where I'm going with this. But, okay. Well, what were we saying? I'm sorry.
No, jealousy. We were
Tangent.
talking about jealousy a little bit, and envy
With love.
and love.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So, like, if you have this trio of love, do you think, like, they actually love each other? Or they're, like, in this weird, like,
No,
mental...
I think they do.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. But then again, I don't know.
Well, who am I to say? Love's complicated. And
Love is
everybody's-
complicated.
And everybody else is fucking different.
There's people out there that love objects and they're not married. Like
Yeah, dude. I've seen those documentaries, man.
the guy's in love with his car. Like I don't know,
Yeah.
man. Trios. I think all that shit can
Yeah,
happen.
man.
Yeah.
That's weird, man. I love with their car. Like, there's like ones, I saw one where like a girl was in love with the wall. So she had like a model made of the wall. So when she went to bed, she could sleep with the wall. And she's like, yeah, I have sexual tendencies with it and stuff. And I'm like,
I got one for you if we're going to go down that one.
It was weird, man.
No, my strange addiction, bro.
Yeah, this is good.
Oh, when they eat stuff?
Well, fucking, yeah, the lady was
Dude,
eating,
I think that shit's
she was,
bold, dude.
She was eating her husband's ashes.
Yeah, I remember that one, dude. I think
she got a little bit on her finger the one day, and she said that she didn't want to feel like she like let her husband like, you know, go on the ground. So she kind of just, you know, licked it right off of her finger.
That's where it started.
And
like a
then
little bit of powdered sugar.
And I'm over here thinking, and then she's like, I started putting it on my bread.
Started mixing it in with like.
I'm like,
gravy.
what is she gonna do when she runs out of them?
Yeah.
You eat the whole motherfucker.
You gotta ration that bitch. Yeah, I honestly think that show's fake.
Yeah.
Some of that shit's fucking out of this world, dude.
Some people are fucking weird, dude.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think it's real.
Dude,
I think humans are one species, but within the human species, there's other fucking species.
No, I think
People that eat other
yeah.
people's fucking ashes.
I guess with 7 billion people, let's get back to that number. Dude, there's probably a small percentage where people are just fucking weird. But so many people, dude, like, there's some of those things where like, oh, I just eat paint all
Dude,
day.
I think everybody's.
I
a little
just
weird.
drink paint. Like, how is she alive? And they do the math like, she drank this. Joanne from South Dakota drinks 4 gallons of paint a day. It's like, no fucking way, dude. You die.
Dude, sometimes it's just better to believe everything you see on TV.
I don't.
Or the internet.
I don't know if that's true, dude. I don't know if that's true.
For the sake of entertainment, it is.
And what's fucked up is that people love to watch that shit. Like, I don't know what it is about humans, and I'm guilty of stuff, but I like to watch, like, bail videos are great at, like, you know, when people bail, like on skateboard. Like, humans get enjoyment of watching people hurt themselves.
Yeah,
All the
dude,
time.
that goes all the way back to like the Colosseums and like
Yeah.
you know fighting lions and
It's natural.
doing.
It's like, let's see how bad this guy gets fucked up, gets hit in the nuts with his own skateboard, and then laugh at it.
We can totally get into this conspiracy theory or how that was, you know, a way to distract the people from the government and how the
Do you
government.
think so?
Wait,
I mean, look at it now. Look, you have
What, the Gladiator? Wait,
Yeah,
what kind
yeah,
of stuff?
yeah. You know, like they do the games, why they try to make political decisions and slide things through, why everyone's distracted by you know
Oh, yeah.
the war games and stuff.
That makes
You think
sense.
that's it? I mean, okay, what about now? But why do we thrive off of the excitement?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I thrive off of it solely because it's like actions going on right in front of me, and like the risk that somebody can get seriously injured.
Yeah,
not
but
that
why do you laugh though?
because they're getting paid millions of fucking dollars.
No, not those guys that get paid. Like the guys who just like, you know, those videos on Facebook where they'll be like riding a bike and then they crash. And
Why do
then-
I laugh?
Yeah.
Because it's not me.
Isn't that weird though?
No, that's you. That's the dark side. You got like the good guy on your shoulder.
And you know what else
bad.
is
No,
fucked
no.
up? You know what else is weird? It's like, it's always funnier when you see guys bail. Like when you see girls really fuck themselves up, you kind of like,
I don't know, man.
you don't laugh as much.
You're like, I don't want to see that.
I don't want to see her fucked up. But if a guy can get completely fucked up, you'd be like, oh, what a fucking idiot.
I think that's I think that's part of our alpha male personality, where you're like, haha, at least I'm not that jackass. You know, you
Yeah.
can kind of appreciate somebody being more stupid than you for a second.
Right. I don't know. I think when we just women in general, I don't know. Like if I listen to a woman comedian and she starts talking about how like she's pooping or like something about her vagina, like I get uncomfortable a lot of times.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just-
awkward as fuck.
I was like,
yeah.
this
Dude,
is weird.
what's that
But
fucking,
you hear a guy
that's-
talk about dick jokes. You're like, this guy's good.
Yeah. What's the fucking girl's name? Amy Schumer?
Yeah.
Dude, not funny, dude.
No.
No,
It's
dude,
not
I
funny,
get that.
man.
That's crazy though. That we
Dude,
like.
wait. You want to go or me?
Yeah, go ahead, man. You look
Okay.
like-
No, what's fucking bullshit, dude? I think this is true. This is what I've heard. Is that like when her special came out on Netflix, right? It got like terrible fucking reads, like 1 star.
Yeah.
And she blamed that like people were just doing it just to fuck with her because she was a girl, and that's why Netflix got rid of the star ratings.
Yep. That's
Because of that bitch.
Can you believe that? Yeah, because of her. Because
That's
she's
true.
like, oh,
Yeah.
they're attacking me because I'm a fucking woman. And it's like, no, bitch, you ain't funny. Did you watch your special? It's bad, dude. It's bad. It's
Yeah.
not funny, man.
I don't know. I've heard good women comedians.
Yeah.
But I've never heard someone like I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, and I know it's a weird subject because I have people that love comedy and they would totally disagree with me. But
Yeah.
like there's guy comedians that I've listened to, and like I feel like there's never been a woman that would ever like reach that level of funny. And
Well, there hasn't been yet.
maybe
you know?
it's just
like,
what I prefer to listen to, but I don't know in the
Yeah.
in the
I think
bigger
I
view
think
of
men are
spectrum.
just more overpowering when they talk. I think it goes down to that basis that a guy can grab. Not saying a woman can't grab people's attention, but I think when a guy tells a story, just by solely his voice being deeper and him
Yeah.
using more intense movements and stuff like that, it gives every guy an advantage over a girl when it comes to that.
and you can see that just throughout the time span of mankind that like there's more charisma found in men because they've been the leaders, you know.
Trigger warning, man.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a trigger warning. That is a little bit of a trigger warning. If someone wants to say like,
it's true. I agree with you.
I was sitting
I
here.
agree with you.
I'm like, where are we going?
and like you could say like, I'm sure someone's out there like, oh, that's because men didn't give women the chance. But it's like if women had the opportunity or like the capability to take that chance, they would have done it, right? But it's just that men have always been, there's like 3 types of power. I'm going on another tangent. There's like physical power. Like motivational where you can like inspire someone. I think that's another one. And then there's like fear. So like inspiration, fear, and like actual physical movement. So when it comes down to like male and female, when you strip away the point where you're going to debate like intellectually, or if you're like trying to get someone to do something where I'm going to inspire you to do something, you take those 2 away, all this stuff is physical force. So back in the day when there wasn't like laws to stop someone from doing anything, it's like, all right, who's going to be the boss? Well, this guy's like, I'm the boss. And the other guy's like, I'm the boss. They debate for a little bit. Debate doesn't work out. Now it's coming to a fist fight. Who can kick the other person's ass? Now that guy's become the leader. So that's, my theory on why girls were never leaders back then, because
there was no
because they weren't going to the doctor taking testosterone shots.
Yeah, well, they couldn't do anything because like if they're like, no, I want to be the leader. If they're like, I want to be the leader, and the guy was like, no, go fuck yourself. She's like, okay, well, am I gonna fight him? Like, the guy's probably gonna kick her ass 9 out of 10 times.
Nah, you're right, man. Same thing with why so many slaves were African American, was because people were deprived, or the African Americans were deprived intelligence, not learning how to read and write and stuff like that. So because they weren't able to read and write, and the white man was able to read and write, they kind of give him a reigning power over. Well, basically living. They didn't know how to live without them, kind of in retrospect.
Well, like, yeah, I mean, obviously, when we came to Africa, we were just more advanced. Honestly, I don't know too much about how the whole slave thing started, so I don't want to get too much into it because I might sound like an idiot.
No, I just wanted to just throw that tidbit.
But it's true. It's like whoever's more intelligent usually does come out on top.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But not the white man.
Well, no, the reason I say that is because black people, I think, are the more physical dominant species now.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is tie it into your theory of what you just said about, okay, who's the leader? Okay, we're going to fight to this. If that was the case, then we would have had tons of black leaders and then a bunch of white slaves. But there's a reason that there were white leaders and black slaves.
Well, that's
no, if you don't want to go there, that's fine.
You don't necessarily like blacks aren't like. Okay, this doesn't sound racist, but I'm talking on my ass. I don't know if this is all
2017,
true.
man. You
can't
like, say anything.
So
like
blacks,
racist.
obviously they have pretty good genetics here in America. But some would say that is because of how they were bred here in America. So before, like, when blacks were just like in Africa, and before we took them, and before the white man took them and put them over here and made them slaves.
Yo, you can make this sound not racist.
I know. We're
doing a good job.
I'm trying not to. All right, so like,
not racist.
It's just because we were more technologically advanced. Like, if they're coming at us with fucking slingshots and bullshit, and we're coming with fucking swords or muskets or whatever the fuck we had.
240 Bravos.
240 Bravos or golf. Raw. Okay, anyways, it's like, they're going to lose. Even if you are stronger. So the power of violence, physical violence, in the form of technology, maybe not necessarily in the form of like brute strength, it's still on that side. That's why once you get a gun, you can be a weak little bitch, but now who has the power? You got it. You got the power. And then you go to fucking a schoolhouse and you shoot everybody up.
That escalated real quick. You're going to have FBI agents.
You should cut that part out of the video. So we're talking about Columbine next?
How dare you?
You guys have a good night.
How dare you? How dare you? Have some respect.
I am.
No, you're fine.
Is it too soon? Because if it's too soon now, then it's always going to be too soon.
You're right.
We can talk about Sandy Hook. Do you guys think that was a
real or fake?
Red flag?
Alex Jones. He said it was fake at first, but he did come back and say no.
That was a schoolhouse shooting, right?
Sandy Hook.
Yeah. There was a shooting, but they had like the kids like circling the school, and they had like a lot of weird interviews of where like the guy would come on stage and cry, and then like he had like, I saw a weird video where the guy like, dude, this is just the internet.
So I don't really know. I don't
Yeah.
really know much.
Dude, there's some
If
weird
you-
conspiracies out there.
If you could just give like a quick like maybe like minute baseline.
You probably know more about this than I
Of
do.
the
Yeah,
Sandy
so Alex Jones comes out talking about how Sandy Hook was set up kind of like an inside job to take away your
If
firearms.
you don't know who Alex Jones is,
right?
he's the guy that does Infowars.
Yeah.
If you don't know,
They early are- he kind of talks all like,
The frogs are gay.
yeah, the
They're making the frogs gay.
They're turning them transgenders. He's
Yeah.
like,
It's good. You
he's
gotta
actually
listen to
a
him.
smart guy, but
Yeah.
he's a little crazy.
Anyways, so we did that, and they went back and forth on it and stuff, and I don't know. There's a lot of weird stuff about it. Like Sandy Hook is up there with like 9/11. Like there's so much things that don't line up with Sandy
how
Hook.
many people got killed?
And the moon landing too. That one's
Well,
another
that's
one.
the thing with Sandy Hook. It's kind of like the numbers are weird. I don't know. I don't have the details.
Wait, so it's a school, and they're saying a guy went in there and he shot up the school, and they don't know how many people he actually killed, or they're saying it didn't happen.
No, I'm sure there's a number.
No, yeah, I don't know
Or
what
are they trying to claim that it didn't happen?
they're
but-
claiming. Yeah, it's a government setup,
It's a setup. Yeah.
That this guy got sent in by the government and shot up this school.
or that the people that actually died aren't even real people. Like something like the names are fake.
All right,
There's
so-
actors, is what they're saying.
Well, we
yeah.
can do something like that. Then why, if that was the case, why would you think the government would want to portray something like that to the public?
Is it just
At
because of
fear?
gun laws?
Because
Gun laws.
fear.
Yeah.
Gun laws.
Assault rifles, AR-15,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
So you
don't-
put that out, and then you get rid
Yeah.
of the guns, and then once you get rid of the civilians' guns, and the government can take over without.
It was
any
either
militia.
that year or the year after. I don't know. There was like while Obama was a president, there was so many like weird instances where every 2 weeks they were talking about guns like
Mm-hmm.
on a regular basis. Like, were they going to ban with handguns? You couldn't have more than 5
I remember
rounds.
that for a little
Something
bit.
like that. You
Yeah.
could.
There's
yeah.
a lot of weird, crazy conspiracies out there.
There is.
Like, dude, obviously the biggest one that's happened this year is flat Earth.
Yeah, that's
The
gotten
flat
pretty
Earth-
big.
Dude,
That's crazy that it made it that big with all the technology.
dude, I'm
that
telling
we
you,
have.
fucking huge.
No, yeah.
Like A-list celebrities coming
Or-
out and being like,
Yeah.
the world is flat.
Mandela effect. That's pretty big too this
Yeah.
year.
What's Manila? Well, for those who don't know what flat Earth is, it's a flat Earth.
a theory that
the
it's not
planet
round.
is on a disc, and the outside of the disc is an ice wall that's guarded by guards. So if you tried to sail out, you would eventually run into an ice wall, so you couldn't get off the cliffs. And the government is always has 360 security on the outside of the circle, and the sun is pretty much rotates around the circle. Okay, and there, and like some of the arguments are like, if the world was a globe, then all the water would be at the bottom. Like, there's some crazy stuff, man. You gotta look at it. And if you guys want to if you're bored and if you're listening, Google flat Earth theory and just go read that shit. It's
Well, there's that,
pretty
and
interesting.
also the dinosaur bones. A lot of people coming out saying that.
Oh,
well,
yeah,
I
that
guess
they're
not a
fake.
lot. I mean,
Bro.
it's a conversation that dinosaurs aren't real.
never
And it's-
happened.
Because I know there's documented proof that people would like make fake bones and,
Yeah.
and they would sell
And
them
I've read
and
some
stuff
of those
because
things too, yeah.
it blew up pretty big when they were out digging for them, and so people wanted to get a piece of that. So there's always going to be scam in every invention. Or
I wish we knew
whatever
someone who's
discovery.
like really deep in conspiracies. Like really deep.
I like it.
I like listening to them. I like debunking them.
Yeah.
So what do you
degree.
think about the 9/11 conspiracy? So
You
when
know,
it
some of
first-
those like arguments are pretty compelling, but like I don't.
the first time I heard it is when I was in DC, when I was in the Marines,
Yeah.
and I refused to buy.
look into the mic.
I refused to buy into anything that would kind of steer me off course of what I was doing at my life at the time. Like I was in the Marines, like I
Yeah.
was gun ho. I was like, I love fucking America. Terrorists fucking did 9/11.
Yeah,
and
that's what I did, too.
refused to believe
I didn't
anything
wanna do the
else. I'm not
research.
even gonna put that thought in my head because then I feel like I'm wasting my time.
That's exactly what I did. Because I
Hey,
remember thinking, I was
yeah.
like, I do not want to think, even if it is a possibility, I don't even want to think that that's what we did.
Right, because it justifies everything against what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
But, and I honestly, I haven't done too much research into that kind of stuff, into conspiracies besides like here and there. But like, I never really tried to get to the bottom of a conspiracy.
Well, here, let me ask you this, because this is really my tell-all question. Forget there are the Twin Towers, just two buildings in the middle of fucking nowhere. If a plane ran into each one of those buildings, would they collapse?
Well, that's the argument. Well, like, so we just had this building catch on fire in Britain, right?
Okay.
And it's a huge skyscraper, and it didn't fall like the two towers.
Like the more and more as time goes
Yeah.
on, that's a lot of building that came down from a plane.
yeah.
Well, so this is the thing. They got recordings of police officers telling people to leave the area because a bomb's gonna go off, and like there was even recordings of countdowns too. Like they started countdown before the plane hit and stuff. It almost sound like a demolition countdown. And so there's a lot of weird stuff. Like did they and also the Pentagon. There was supposedly a plane that landed in the Pentagon, but like they couldn't find the plane. And then like they cleaned it up real fast. Weird stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, I've talked to a couple when I lived in DC. I was on the metro, and I sat by an oldest couple, and they told me they were there when the plane hit. Now, I don't remember necessarily if they said they saw the plane, but I know for sure they're like, yeah, we saw the explosion.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, that's crazy.
Well, I'm not really so much going against the idea that a plane hit the building or the Pentagon. I think it's more, is it just the plane that did what it did too?
Yeah. Well, for sure a plane did because we have footage of that.
Right.
But in another question you got to ask is like, is it the government doing it, or is it these like fingers that like you could say the Illuminati or something like that, like this under this back weird shit that's doing it? Like, dude, the fucking what's the fucking meetings that like Hillary Clinton went to? All those fucking weird meetings where they're like drinking semen and like
Spirit cooking.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Like,
that's just weird shit they do. I don't think
yeah,
that.
but dude, that's fucking but that group,
Yeah.
dude.
Wait, what is it?
Dude, that's real shit.
It's
dude. That came out.
Spirit cooking. It's pretty much like they make meals and stuff, and you eat off of like people's body, like an actual person who's like he's alive, and they'll put him in like pig's blood and like
Yeah.
stuff, and people will like take like a spoon and like scrape some stuff off his
It's
stomach.
like
and
picture like one of
it's
those
really
things where like people wearing like goat heads and shit, dude.
No,
Yeah.
dude, that's,
No,
And dude,
it's
this
like
came out.
deep web, bro.
No, dude, this shit came out on
No, it's-
WikiLeaks.
yeah.
That like
Yeah.
all our a lot of the politicians and very like high elite globalist status kind of people, bro, Alex Jones, were involved in these kind of things, and then pedophilia was huge.
All right, well, I want to take a shot here because I have a chance to
Yeah.
take a shot. No, so when I got foot surgery over this past
You guys talk. I'm gonna look it up.
no, go ahead. When I had foot surgery over this past winter, I started getting into. I just started fucking around on my computer, and somebody said something about being able to sell your liver for like $120,000 or whatever the case may be, and I was like joking around about it. It's fucking staticky because of your phone right now, brother.
Really, I don't hear it.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
Anyways, through the with the whole liver thing, I mentioned it to one of my buddies about getting it removed. Like just joking around, like I can make this. He's like, you would have to go on the deep web to find out about, to find a doctor
who would
to do
remove
it.
it and who would buy it?
Well, I had no idea what the deep web was at the time.
Yeah.
And for you guys that don't know, basically you get like the average person can access about 4% of the internet. The other 96% of the internet is protected by firewalls and contains everything and anything. It's legitimately the black market. The myth that you've heard before about the black market, it's a real thing now.
Yeah.
And, they use Bitcoins, which is a digital currency, to pay for things. But what I'm trying to get at is they have all these rich-ass fucking people that I was just reading these stories, and like there was crazy stuff. I can go on for days about it, but one in particular that stood out to me was there was families that were like let's say a father of 5.
Mm-hmm.
He was sacrificing himself to a family of cannibals, so
Okay, he was.
they could eat him for X amount of dollars, and they would pay his family so they could live comfortably.
That's weird.
Yep.
They had cookbooks that like you could cook somebody a certain way to the point where they'll be alive as long as they possibly can before.
I've seen that one.
Before they're dead.
Also, if you're thinking about going onto the deep web, be careful because most likely if you're going into the deep web, your IP address is gonna get monitored.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could try using what's
Silk Road.
there's apps and
yeah, so as long as
software
as long as you
programs.
know what the fuck you're doing.
I've never
I
been
wouldn't
on
go
the
in
deep web.
there.
I've never been on the deep web. We should sacrifice one of your laptops.
It's not allowed. It's the IP address. my
So
internet.
like location.
Location, yeah.
So the whole house would be.
And I'm not a hacker,
I've heard
dude, I don't
crazy.
know.
Yeah, no.
So
Like
you'd have
the
to be
stories-
away from the house, and you'd have to have like
Yeah.
everything off and nothing.
Unless you know how to
synced.
set up something in your computer that gives a fake IP address when someone looks it up, which I'm not capable of doing.
Yeah, no, it's bizarre that you can do that. But like, so the other things on the deep web, it's like, because you hear about like child porn and human trafficking,
Yeah.
and drugs being trafficked.
Dude, fucking
and
Wiki-
this and that. You hear about
WikiLeaks
all
has-
this shit, and that's where most of it happens.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of it you can put a hit on somebody. There was a site where. What I would do is I'd go on YouTube and I'd search like somebody basically scrolling through the deep web, so I'm not putting myself in jeopardy.
Yeah. Go live stream on it.
But there was like hitman sites where it was like $10,000, $15,000, or $25,000 to put a hit on somebody, depending on where they reigned. If it was just a normal civilian or if they were
Isn't
a
that
public
crazy?
figure.
You put
and-
a price tag on someone's head for 15,000. That
Uh-huh.
guy's valued at 15,000.
Yeah, and they basically okay, if it's out, Oconus, if it's outside the United States, say 2 to 3 weeks, the person will be dead. You pay half up front and then you pay half afterwards. You don't want to fuck with a hitman if he kills the person you want to kill. So,
Yeah.
um,
How much do you think you're worth?
me 12,000.
It's fine. That's crazy, man. People putting value on people's lives. Do you think?
It's not that? See, it's
do you-
not. It's not that though.
I
It's-
know,
It's
but
not.
like-
It's not that somebody's putting a value on your life specifically. They're putting a value on your life. I mean, they
On
are
your
to a certain
death.
degree, but they're putting it. They're actually like the cost of that would make you to go away
Yeah. Do you think
for somebody's service.
Do you think humans are capable to judge whether someone should live or die? So pretty much, I guess what I'm asking is, do you agree with the death sentence?
I think if you
Both of you, I
did,
guess.
I think if you did something that you were in a position where you solely because you were more of an alpha human being, you used it to take other people's lives, then you deserve to die. So if you went and you fucking killed a bunch of children,
What's that have to do with being alpha?
what it has to do with them is that the children are weaker. They're weaker minded than you. They're smaller.
Yeah, but I don't.
They can't protect themselves. So you're basically using your dominance to wipe them
But I
out.
don't say you're an alpha, because like an alpha, like you're trying to be on top. He's not trying to.
Well,
be
no,
on top.
I'm saying you're in the alpha end of the situation.
Well, yeah, the dominant.
If you are the dominant side of the situation,
Yeah.
if you're not in the dominant side of the situation, you're killing somebody. You're doing it out of self defense for the most part.
That's not true either.
No.
No.
I want to jump in real fast.
No.
I think you guys are looking at it wrong. I think when it comes to like whether we're allowed to choose to kill them, isn't death the easy way out? Like honestly, like death is the cowardly easy way out. Like when you just kind of shut the lights off and move on. Yeah, when someone being killed. Like so, someone does a really bad crime where they do something wrong. Like wouldn't it be?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be better to have them do their time, quote unquote, rather than hang them or give them the chair or something, or
Yeah.
injections, whatever they
I think
do?
it depends on
Well,
what they did.
I got to answer for both. Well, the reason why I say if someone's on the lesser end, because you could be a weak little bitch and go kill a fucking kill me. You know?
Yeah, but then if somebody went in what I'm trying to get is if somebody went in to kill you, somebody walked in here right now with a
killed-
fucking gun and killed all three of us, they're on the alpha side of the situation. We may be stronger or faster, whatever you want to say, but if they have a fucking gun,
Yeah.
they're on the alpha end of
I know,
the
but
situation.
that's-
So at that point, they deserve to get executed because
I agree.
they took away.
I know.
There was no even playing field.
I get that, but you said like people who are in alpha mentality, but I'm not saying that's an alpha mentality. They're just fucked up in the head because.
So what would be the opposite?
No, I'm
example?
not saying alpha mentality. I'm just saying in the alpha end of the situation, you already have the upper hand in the situation. You
Yeah, in that side, yeah.
You know, like something like that.
So what would be the opposite of that?
The opposite of that,
Of your example, yeah.
it would be, let's say a fucking guy's beating his wife, and his wife grabs a gun and fucking shoots him in the fucking head.
No, it's the same thing, dude.
No,
yes, it
no,
is because
it's
she
not.
grabbed a gun. She's in the upper hand now.
No, but he had the upper hand without the gun in the
Beforehand.
situation. Yes,
But it's the same if a fucking weak bitch walks in with a gun. We have the upper hand until you had a gun.
right. No.
So- yeah.
Because we don't. Because we're not even part of the fucking situation until she walks in here with a gun.
Yeah, but say we come in and we start fighting.
There has to be a backstory to this
No,
situation.
dude. What?
Yes.
This is first of all, all this is irrelevant to the fucking question I was asking whether someone is alpha. upper hand, or whether you're saying alpha, upper hand, or dominant. Obviously, if you have the gun, you're upper hand, but it doesn't have anything to do with whether you're alpha or not. And if you're dominant, which is talking about like my dominance over you, meaning I have domain over you. If you're using a gun as the portray my dominance over you,
or if
different.
somebody's raping a girl and then the girl grabs a knife and stabs the guy in the fucking neck. That's
self-defense.
That girl was on a less alpha side, and
Until
she
she got a
did
knife.
until she got a knife, and then she did what
But-
she had to do to.
I know, but like I don't know why you brought that up when I said, do you think a person has like, I don't know why you felt the need to bring up alpha, because whoever kills the other person had the upper hand at that moment. So that's why I am confused why you even said it, because if it felt like you were saying it to prove a point on something, but it's like no matter who kills who, like if I kill you, I won the upper hand.
You're seeing the end result. You're not seeing the situation. You're just seeing, okay, this.
Why'd you say what you said? I asked you, does someone have the right to choose whether someone lives or die? And you said
Yes,
what?
because basically, I think you deserve to die if you took advantage of what God gave you. And
What God gave you. No, you can't say that though.
Yes, I fucking can.
Because if you gave a gun, if I come in here with a gun, God didn't give me that shit. I just went and got a gun. I just murked up a whole school.
All right.
That's why I was confused when you said that.
No. It's not that. It's that if somebody's gonna get fucking killed, if we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna write a piece of paper. Listen, you're not gonna live any longer.
Yeah.
If somebody, and for me, on a personal level, to say that's justifiable, then that person would have had to commit something
Yeah.
that to somebody
Yeah.
that was on a lesser alpha end, and they could not protect or defend themselves, and somebody completely took control of the situation because
it's a
the
really
other
weird
people
way
were
to-
weaker minded.
It's a weird way to look at it. It's a weird way. I understand what you're saying, but like to say like someone who's more alpha in the situation, that's the only way you're gonna look at it. Someone who deserves to die doesn't sound necessarily because there's a
for
lot
instance,
of cases.
there was a woman that drowned 3 of her babies in a bathtub.
Yeah, she deserves to die. Done.
Because she was the alpha in the
Yeah,
situation.
and
She was the alpha in the
Yeah.
situation, and then she went and she claimed to be crazy, and she's not going to get executed.
Yeah, but
because
she
of
should
it.
probably die.
Okay,
She can go get fucked.
Those are the people I'm talking about.
Yeah, but now you take a kid, right?
Okay.
17 years old, fucked up in the head, gets bullied every fucking day, goes and murders a whole fucking school.
Yeah.
He deserves to die. He's not an alpha male at all.
No.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Okay.
But he
No.
deserves to die. To at least, but that's not even what I was asking. I was just saying whether or not humans have the right to decide whether someone lives or dies.
Go ahead, Jerry. I've talked enough.
No, yeah, I'm on board.
I'm getting sucked into a deeper thought with that.
I get what you're saying.
I'm asking very simple.
I got you.
Do humans have the capability to pass judgment on whether someone has the right to live or die?
We could have just talked about aliens, man.
Yes.
We can talk about aliens too.
Yes.
No, I hear you.
Yes.
But
I'm
like
not
I
trying to
said
argue with
before,
you.
like,
No,
do we really?
That's what we're
like,
here for, bro.
Yeah.
Like, why do we hang people? Like, why don't we put them in like I don't
Because
know,
fucking
prison? I
It's
feel
expensive.
like
That's expensive.
it is expensive. That's right. Good point.
Have I
Just
always
wipe the slate clean.
how I have always looked at the death penalty is that if someone is put in control of a group of people, like say we're on an island. If you break it down to an island, it's always it comes down to the principle. So there's 10 people crash landed on an island. One guy murders the other person and now murders one of the group. And then you can tell he just has violent tendencies. Is it more, does the benefits of killing him and not having to worry about him doing anything else to the rest of the group outweigh just trying to keep him caged up or releasing him, giving him a second chance? So from a government perspective, you have someone who committed atrocious crimes, shot up a school. It's all right, now I'm faced with an option. Do I try to rehabilitate him to the point where he can be reintroduced into civilization and live amongst us like a normal human being? Or do we keep him in a cage forever and just waste all this money on him? Or do we just fucking kill him and not have to worry about that problem ever again? So from that standpoint, that's almost just fucking murk the bitches because...
That's where
No,
Law and Order
that's-
comes into play, man.
Yeah.
What would we
Man,
do without that?
that's tough. I mean, when you say it like that, when you break it down, easy 10 people like that, take them out of the fucking equation.
Yeah.
And you're protecting the other 8 people that are still alive.
But that's how a government has to look, you
right.
know?
And I get that, but we also live in a time now where
You gotta trust your government.
you,
That's the problem too.
you don't want to be fucking start lethal injecting people that aren't even guilty.
Yeah, that's true too.
You know.
So yeah, I don't mean like obviously I still mean trial in court, but I know I've heard a lot of people argue that it's like humans don't have the right to ever pass judgment on whether another human being lives or dies. Like no one decides on someone else's life.
Okay,
but,
I disagree with that.
yeah, because like
I disagree with that.
because like if
also.
you're not looking at it, if someone says that they're not looking at it at a big picture where the responsibilities of what the government has to keep everybody safe. And so I think when you're put in a leadership position, you gotta have to take the lesser of two evils at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of times, sometimes there is no right answer.
because the best way to look at it on a larger scale is like you took those 10 people and you take that one person out, and you're protecting the other 8 people, but on a larger scale, of every, let's say, 1,000 or 10,000 people, there's one of those people, and we continue to release them and release them and release them, then that one person turns into fucking 100 people or 1,000 people.
Yeah.
And that could be detrimental to society or whatever group that you're living in.
Because it would, I mean, obviously, it would be great if it was like we could. Obviously, I think rehabilitating people who do commit crimes is a very good thing. But I'm talking about like obviously the extreme where, you know, like raping children and fucking like cutting their heads off and wearing them on. It's like, I don't know, like I don't, you know what I mean? Like fucked up motherfuckers, like those kind of people trying to rehabilitate.
You lost them a while ago. If they're doing shit like that, I don't think they're coming back from that. It's not a drug addiction.
But some people,
or a fucking,
but I know there's people out there that fight for that. You know, they're like, you don't have the right to choose. How do you know he doesn't have a second chance?
That's because fucking people have fucking feelings.
That's true.
Yeah,
You're
they
right.
get in the way of the common sense.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I feel like a lot of the situations that people complain about, like something like that, like, oh, don't fucking, you don't have the right to take somebody else's life. They've never been in a situation where somebody directly correlated with them, that situation affected them, where maybe their mom was killed innocently or their parents were killed innocently, and at that point, then they may be like, okay, you know, kill that motherfucker that killed my family.
Yeah.
But since that didn't happen to them, that person's like, no, it's okay. You kill somebody else's parents.
There was this video of, I don't know whether it's real or not, but a lot of people are going back and forth whether it's real, but they were showing that like there's Russians over in like Syria right now that are helping out or something, and like they're like torturing people. They're torturing these guys. And like, how are these guys any better than them if they're, you know, like cutting their heads off and stuff?
Wait,
and they're
Syrian, like
there's apparently like like Russian like black ops or maybe I don't know what they were, but they weren't Americans, but they were fighting the same war we're fighing, but
like it's
for
ISIS?
their own. Yeah, pretty much. And so they were like torturing the guys, or like, you know, there was a guy's head laying on the ground, and so it brought up like a huge debate on the forums of people going back and forth like, do they have the right to do that? And then it came to point like, well, it's war, like
no, well, for sure America does torture the fuck out of people.
Oh yeah, we got those black sites.
Yeah, dude.
We know
maybe
that.
not on American soil, but we fucking do it.
We do that shit here too. I'm pretty sure.
But I mean, I don't think it's the same.
No.
I like my own personal opinion. Like
your mind's got to be altered too when you're in that state.
well, see,
too.
this is what's fucked up, right? Think about this. Throughout all of mankind, except in the last 200, 300 years, 400 years. Whoa. Hey, fresh ice, baby.
Got ice.
It's like humans were killing each other like it was fucking rolling down the street.
Regularly,
dude.
yeah.
You always had a fucking 6-shooter. You always had a fucking sword on your back. You had a fucking knife. Someone looked at you wrong in the fucking pub and you didn't get your ale. You fucking fought and killed them. You didn't like the other person. You go out, you walk 10 paces, turn around. Whoever can pull the trigger faster fucking kill them. Wild, Wild West. Fucking 200 years ago, right? Like, people are fucking... That's how it was. And now, like, a lot of people... Which it says a lot about the human race, because killing is very natural for humans to do.
Yeah.
Not even survival. Like, yeah, survival of the fittest, but it's like people would just murk each other left and right like it was fucking normal day. So, you know, now we look at someone, if you kill someone nowadays, it's like, oh, you definitely have a mental health issue, which I agree to, for the most part. right? But if you look at just like the humankind throughout the whole span of its existence, we were killing people. Everybody kills everybody.
You have a mental issue now because people say you have a mental issue because it's not acceptable. But in the past, you fucking had to kill to survive. It changes everything.
Well, not even but people were killing not even to survive. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you walked onto my land, kill. All right. And then they're like, oh, no, that was fair. He was on his land. Kill him.
So what's a life worth then?
Back then, it wasn't worth much. People were killing each other. That's my point. It's like gladiators, you know, they were killing each other. Cowboys would just shoot each other whenever the fuck they want. Oh, you lost at a poker game? Boom, killed you. You know? Mm-hmm. Someone did that. Nowadays, it's like, oh, that person is completely fucked up. But that was like normal back then, where people were just murking.
So what does that say? So society's changed, but people haven't?
No. Well, I would say people have. Yeah.
Course,
so like we've gotten more, someone would say like an enlightenment, right? But I definitely think deep down humans are pretty primal. So when you look at the Russian soldiers who are fighting against ISIS, who are fucking raping little kids and killing people left and right.
I don't know if they're raping kids, but
no, they definitely are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you're probably right.
No, 100%.
Real Russians?
ISIS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you said it backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad.
You're like the
ISIS.
Russians are raping kids.
Yeah. So like, yeah, my bad. So like, so like Spetsnaz, I can understand like their primal instinct of torturing someone who's raping kids and killing people innocently. Like if I saw you walking down the street and you took a little girl and you just chopped her head off and then fucked the little boy in the ass right next to her, I might want to do very torturous things. Like the mindset I might have is not be like, I just want to kill you. I might want to like tie you up.
And that doesn't make you crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't
that makes you primal. Because you want fucking revenge because you saw somebody else suffer because of this fucking person, which ties into the person before. Or the thing I was saying before is that in that situation, you become the alpha male, and you were torturing them because you have the upper hand.
Well,
granted, if you know how to catch a terrorist,
or whoever. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I do deep down believe like there is that feral part of us that's in us.
So I think we're happy though. You know, like that's like on the flip side of that. I feel like we also could feel that sort of happiness too and enjoyment, like maybe like childbirth.
Yeah, because like if you take a pig and you put him into the wild, it becomes feral. Its tusks and fang or tooths like start getting longer. His tusks get bigger. It starts growing hair on its back, and it becomes into a feral hog. If you let a pig get into the wild, there's cows. I think it's in Australia. When you let those things get feral, they get mean as fuck, big as fuck, ready to battle. There's people that are like in those crazy tribes who only don't wear shoes. Their feet start developing, you know, ways to walk on rocks and stuff. That their toes get spread out more like an actual hand, more primate-like, where they can grab onto things with their feet. So it's like we've been living in a society where it's like we don't have to worry. There's nothing that's makes you fight for your life constantly.
Right.
So you don't go get into that primal feral.
It's almost turned into a subject that like society doesn't like talking about.
They don't.
Yeah. So like you take. Yeah. I would want to know what would happen if you just took a person, stripped them butt naked, and like throw them into the wild and see what happens like over 20 years.
No, yeah, they'll. I think they'll do the same thing.
They'll start developing different. Like,
the question is can you go from that primal stage back to joint? That's the same thing like PTSD.
It's very hard. I know like
people coming out of like.
I watched a cat video like. They try to bring a feral cat back in, which is funny. In Australia, they have a fuck ton of feral cats because Australia is like one of those places where they did a lot of like, they brought a lot of animals in, and then the animal would get overpopulated, and they brought in more animals. Well, they brought in cats, and they ended up overpopulating the fuck out of it to control. I think it was like the rodents. So now you have a fuck ton of feral cats, and you can hunt cats. It's like there's like people put bounties like, oh, black cat, please kill, like $10. Like people just go out and hunt cats. Completely normal. Yeah. Do that over here, you get fucked by PETA. Because they're feral animals. But I watched a video and they were bringing trying to bring a feral cat back into the house, and they were able to a degree, but they couldn't get it to like pet. You couldn't pet it still, but they could like get it to be like calm.
So I think we're just trying to basically have a society that's more sophisticated, and you can't have a sophisticated society if you're just having people blatantly going out and fucking blowing off other people's heads without locking them up. And that's why we have a prison system.
Yeah. What?
That's why we have black sites, so we don't hear about it.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say something.
Yeah, me too.
You get it.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I just lost my train of thought on something. Oh, Oh no. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh,
You
dude, it
were-
was something about
Need
humans.
some alpha brain.
It was something. Oh, alpha brain.
Humans and alpha brains.
Oh, yeah. That your body is always adapting, right? And you get put into situations where you're 100% comfortable all the time. Your body adapts and adapts and adapts to that situation. So it's like, I know we talked about this. Like, we're like gonna always get taller. So this is probably an argument against myself. And if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, if you're listening, I'm looking at Travis right now, and we got an argument about where humans are gonna be in like the next 100 years, whether we're gonna be taller and taller and taller, or faster and faster and faster, because we are going that way. And we were arguing whether or not you're gonna hit a like plateau out. And I was fighting that we were gonna like always go forward, but I think we came on an agreement that we'll plateau out. Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah, we'll flatline out.
Why?
Because, like, obviously we're not going to get, like, 15 feet. Then again, dude.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be rapid.
Doesn't have to do with like carbon dioxide and
Uh,
stuff, and
it
like
doesn't
how
have
the
to be
atmosphere
rapid,
changes
bro.
too.
No, I know.
We're saying you could be an inch, if it's an inch over 50 years, it's still an inch over 50 years.
No, I know. Because we looked it up, like, from, like, 1920 to now, like, obviously.
We haven't grown over the last few years.
Yeah, it's not too much. We've grown a little bit, but it's not a lot. But over the last, like, 1,000 years, we've become way better humans. But how much is that correlate to modern day medicine and diet? And then,
All right, so what about just shot in the dark?
what was I even going with
Thousand
that?
years from now. 1,000 years from now, what's the average height of a human? Average lifespan.
well, I don't think we're gonna be giants.
No, I think it would be shorter. Honestly.
You think we'll be shorter?
Yeah, see, that's what. Oh yeah, that's what I was about to say. Because now that we're facing a society that we're 100% comfortable, and we don't have to necessarily, like, if you want to talk about the sexual preference, when you don't necessarily have to have sex with the alpha dog. So like, if I'm a wolf, you want to mate with the alpha dog. Now you can just be like, I'll have babies with this fucking weak ass
Why'd
bitch
you say
and
rape?
make weak ass babies. So now that we're
That's true. That's straight up.
'cause
That's
now
true.
you're in a society
Yeah.
that's super comfortable, and anybody who has any needs, it can instantly be met.
True.
There's a good chance that our human race is now
Going
going
down.
on the decline.
Because of comfortability.
Yeah, dude, I saw an article
It's crazy to
that
think
a
about.
male's grip strength is now, and the average male grip strength now is where women's was in 1983.
Wow.
Yeah,
I could believe that,
Doing
though.
this.
like yeah, and then fucking, that's not good.
I've shooken, I've shooken some fucking 60-year-old man. I think I
Yeah.
had like the
You're
guy
like,
good
holy
grip.
The old
shit.
man
That
hand?
old man strength. I've shaken some of these hands, and
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like, fuck.
Dude, I still haven't beat my dad in arm wrestling, dude. They got that fucking old man strength, dude. I don't know what it is. It's fucking weird.
It's all those microfibers from years and years
Yeah.
of like all the stuff he does. It's there, but he looks.
Which is cool, dude. You can actually develop more microfibers in your body to a degree. I think it's like a 10 to 20% increase.
Like, isn't there something like when you train your nervous system, it like stays there, and like for instance, you get like 1 year you push it really hard, you get a new max.
Sorry.
Turn it off.
Sorry.
Turn it off.
Sorry.
So bad.
Ryan, we are mid podcast. If you're here, just walk in.
Something like that. That's what I asked for.
Okay. Goodbye.
All right.
You guys want to keep talking while I send this?
Yeah.
No, but there's something about I don't know, like once you like develop that nervous system, like even if you stop working out, it's still there. I feel like
Yeah.
you just have a governor on your body that
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
let you get back to it. So-
100%. That's what I used to say. It takes 3 months to get it and 6 months to lose it.
Yeah, but none of us are doctors. I mean, I don't want to say anything
Sure.
without us actually knowing the facts. But I know
That's
there's
my
something.
experience.
That's.
To-
I feel like that is pretty true, pretty accurate. What I just said. Maybe not those numbers per se.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if you worked out for a year straight and then you stop going to the gym for a year and then you start working out that third
You're
year
gonna get back
again,
way faster.
you're
It
gonna
comes
get
back
it back
faster,
a
for
lot
sure.
faster.
It's already
For
there.
sure.
It's just
I agree. I just want to make clear that, I mean, I'm all about some bro science, as you know. I do bro science all the time.
Yep.
But, I just want to, I don't want anybody calling us and be like, that's not actually true.
Actually, if you care that enough about what we're saying, I
He
would
is most-
actually like that. Go fucking bring that fire onto our show, please.
How long have we been
We're
going?
done, man. We're about 57 minutes right
57 minutes?
now. Yes, sir.
Yeah, you guys want to wrap this up?
Yeah, Jerry.
Jerry.
I hope
Any-
you enjoyed it this time a little bit different.
Well, any last...
Yeah, you
Any
guys don't
last
have to ask
parting
me all
words?
these fucking questions. I can sit back and have a conversation.
We talked.
nice.
It felt good to have a conversation.
We had a blower loader and we needed somebody to watch.
Yeah, dude.
I'm pretty sure I dropped it
Yeah.
too.
I'm gonna feel I already know that after this podcast I'm gonna feel a bit more refreshed, man.
Yeah, me too.
Having the long form conversations is always good to have, which I always promote for people out there listening.
It's good, dude. You got to do it.
If you don't,
like,
yeah,
all that shit gets stuck in your head. Gets stuck in your head.
Chase
it
your
builds
dreams.
up. You get acne on your back. I don't know. I don't know the side effects.
Well,
are.
how sad
There's
is
gotta
it
be
now?
some-
Like with all the things that you go through in life, like how often do you sit down and talk to your homies or your friends for an hour?
Depends on how good they are at texting you back.
Yeah, but ooh.
I think that was. I think that hit was him taking a shot.
Dude,
at
motherfucker,
somebody.
you live like 50 minutes away.
I don't know.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Give me one liner.
We've been friends for elementary school. I'm sorry. I'm
That's
sorry.
all right.
All right. I'll do it this time.
Yeah, no, I just want to say I think this is a good show. I think we had some good momentum coming back. If you listened into this far, I hope you appreciated the show. Check us out. iTunes, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
All that bullshit.
All that bullshit.
Shout out to Jick Burvine again. Shout out to Cassie Olsen. Shout out to Denzel on YouTube. And this is episode 13 of Life as We Know It. And go have a fucking great day. Peace.